Mingle. I'm Staci Johnson. Joining me tonight is Keith, the constitutional conservative, Stephen, the independent conservative, Stephen, the independent thinker, and my cousin Todd. We have a packed show for you tonight. Guess what? The House and the Senate, the House, then the Senate unanimously passed the bill, the Jeffrey Epstein bill, in order to release all of the files. Victims, Marjorie Taylor Greene and Epstein victims were criticizing President Trump before the House of Representatives voted to release the bill or the file. The NFL and Jets cornerback Chris Boyd reportedly remains hospitalized after being shot in New York City. President Trump met today with the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, MBS, despite his troubling human rights history. He is accused of approving the killing of a Washington Post journalist. Texas State Troopers scolded South Carolina wide receiver after scoring a touchdown this past Saturday, and President Trump has suggested he's made a decision on the United States military movements in Venezuela. Is Make America Great Again unraveling? We'll talk about that as the Pelicans fire their coach, Willie Green, amid a 2-10 start. And last week, President Trump signed a bill ending the longest government shutdown in U.S. history. That and more, if we can fit it in. There's no first up because there's no NASCAR, right?
Nope, no NASCAR.
So what shall we talk about first? Let's talk about the Pelicans firing their head coach. Let's start with the basketball. Let me share my screen, and then we'll talk about that.
This morning with breaking news. Around 8:45 this morning, the New Orleans Pelicans announced head coach Willie Green has been let go. The Pels are 2-10 for the season following last night's 118-104 loss to the Lakers. Owner Gail Benson said he trusts VP of Basketball Operations Joe Dumars to make this decision. In a statement, Dumars said, "I have the utmost respect for Willie Green, and I'm sincerely appreciative of his contributions to the Pelicans organization and the New Orleans community. We wish him and his family all the best in the future." Green joined the franchise in 2021. He leaves with a 150-189 record after 5 seasons. James Borrego will make his debut as interim head coach tomorrow against Golden State. Tip-off is set for 6 p.m. at the Smoothie King Center.
Okay.
Well, if I'm being honest, I don't know if he was that great for the Penguins. I think they should probably hire somebody else and see what kind of luck they have winning a Super Bowl this year.
Yeah.
America first.
Yeah, I kind of think it would be a better game if they played with actual Penguins. That's as much interest as I have in the NBA right now, because it's just boring. I don't have any interest in the NBA. If they
don't know anything about sports.
I know I don't. I know just about as little as you do. And we're on the. Yep, you're right. You got me. You nailed me.
Yeah, I'm not following too much of the NBA right now. I'm really into football. You know, it is football season, college and professional. So
nothing's bigger than the NFL in America.
That's true. So speaking of which, let's go into college football before they get to the NFL.
Is that by design that they do that, Staci?
What do you mean?
Overlapping each other, you know, all these sport, you know,
because everyone doesn't watch just one thing, you know, just like we're into the NFL, some people are into the NBA, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
guess they
A lot of
competitive.
millions of people are into the NBA.
Yeah, millions of people all over the world.
Suppose so.
China, including China, they love the NBA.
Right. So let's check this out.
Now to that viral moment from Saturday's Texas A&M game in College Station. A Texas state trooper was sent home and has been relieved of his duties after an incident involving a University of South Carolina player. Take a look.
After he outruns defenders for an 80-yard touchdown to make it 26-3.
Uh-oh.
Late in the second quarter, South Carolina's Nick Harbor scored an 80-yard touchdown. Some players followed him into the tunnel, and it looks like the trooper bumped into them and started scolding them. In a statement, the Texas Department of Public Safety says they are aware of the incident and they're investigating the situation.
What the heck?
Right.
Dealing McCollum, Sherman Smith.
All right. So what was that about?
Yeah,
I don't know.
really.
That's bizarre. That's
Yeah.
awful.
Let's start with Keith.
I
Thank
guess
you,
the trooper.
Todd.
I
Yeah,
guess the
because
trooper
you're
was
just
in a
sitting
bad.
there waiting for them to come up with something. But see, what you fail to realize is that trooper was white and those boys were black. So you always want to hear what Keith has to say about it.
Oh,
Go
you
ahead,
think
Keith.
that? You think it was a race issue? I don't know. I guess
No.
I
I
thought
don't
the
think it was
trooper
a
was.
race issue.
Wait a minute.
Well,
One
that's
at a
the call.
time, Stacy. Go ahead,
It's-
Hank.
Well,
Get ahead.
it
Todd.
always
Todd
has to
makes
be race.
everything's a race
Yep.
issue with Todd, right?
Right.
Steven?
Okay, get to the
Right.
point, Keith.
Right.
What
I
are you
just
saying,
did.
Keith?
I just
He
did.
did.
I mean,
Okay, so go
you
ahead,
think
Steven.
everything's a race.
Yeah,
right?
Todd just wants to make anything out of race. I think anybody can be an ass no matter what color they are. And I think this cop was being
Right.
an ass. No matter
Right.
what color he is, no matter what color other guys. And if he's racist, he's racist. I don't care what is in his heart. I saw what he did with his body, and it was wrong. So something should happen to him. I don't know what's going to happen to him, but it's not right. You don't treat people like that. And he's
Something
lucky
should
that
happen to
football
him like
player
what?
didn't rip his head off. Huh?
What should happen to him? Don't just talk in abstract.
Oh yeah, he should be. I think he should be suspended. I think he should have to come in front of people and talk about why he did what he did, explain himself. I think he needs to be pulled straight out and say and answer for everything he did. That's all. That's how it should be. And I don't
that's
care.
right.
I don't care if he's a
Okay.
racist or not. People shouldn't treat people bad
No, I know
if they're a
you
racist
don't
or not.
care. Okay, now, Stacey, are you going to me?
Yeah.
I'll go.
Okay.
So this is my thought. I thought it was more of an intimidation factor. Here is a police officer with a gun.
Kind of like Emmett Till, right?
I don't know, but it was definitely an intimidation factor. A police officer with a gun, and he picked out one particular player as opposed to another. He bumped into
Two
both of them.
players.
No, let me.
Somebody's got to
Statement?
cut his mic off.
Yeah, cut his mic off because I think he just needs to talk to someone. He won't stop talking.
Yeah, he needs help.
So, what I was saying, because it's my turn, is that he bumped into two players. And the one player he bumped into on the right side was the wide receiver or wide out that actually just ran a touchdown and scored. So it was South Carolina that scored ahead or above Texas A&M. So he knew that this player had put Texas A&M in a chance to lose. So I think it was an intimidation factor. And the police officer intimidating that particular player could have affected the way that player played the rest of that game, because actually Texas A&M ended up winning that game over South Carolina. And I think that did it.
Yeah.
Because when a player feels intimidated or threatened, he may feel scared. He may have talked to other players. They may be afraid of the police, what the police are going to do to them afterwards, and then say, hey, we better cool down, or they're not as excited about playing the way they started out, because they started out and they were on a roll and they were just kicking Texas A&M's butt, and then it changed. So
Yeah.
I think just sitting that officer down is not just sitting him down and relieving him of his duties isn't enough. He needs to be removed from that detail and put on another detail.
Yep.
He doesn't.
Good job.
He needs to keep his job, but he needs to put on a whole nother detail that he's not allowed to interact or deal with players during any college athletic session.
Good job, Staci. You really broke it down. I didn't see it like that until you said it. That made a really good point because he was for the other side. He was really mad that the guy just made a touchdown. I didn't even think about it like that. And like Todd was just thinking maybe he's just a white guy that hates black people. But you're exactly right. He did it. That's what he did. You broke it down perfectly. Thank you, Staci.
He broke that guy's spirit. Then I don't like
that's
that.
What he did. Yeah, because it's a cop. It's a cop with a gun. Yeah, they're intimidating. Yeah, that's right.
No, they should not have been intimidated.
The player may have been a minor, so he's actually could have infringed upon an adult/minor.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a high.
You don't know how old he is, Staci?
I don't know how old that player is. That's an authority figure because the police officer is an authority figure.
Yeah.
An authority figure weighing over someone who isn't. So let's let Cousin Todd go. He's been waiting patiently.
Well, he was weak. He was weak.
Yep.
Okay. I'll give you another scenario since you all love these kinds of scenarios. I'll give you one that you won't agree with, and then you'll be flip-flopping like Stephen always does. I'm a never Trumper. I love Trump. Trump's a godsend. I want Trump.
Get to your point, man. I live rent free in your head, but I'm gonna start charging you rent. I'm gonna start charging you rent, brother. $1,000 a month.
I don't mean to expose you. Sorry.
I'm not exposed.
Okay. So anyway, there was Staci's little scenario. There was another group of people that felt that way, but you didn't agree with them. Remember, Mark Furman was the police officer?
I can't.
Okay. And so he had interactions with O.J. Simpson, and he was found to be a racist. He wanted to gather all the blacks up and burn them. And so the jury thought, oh, you can't believe anything this crooked racist cop says. So he can't be found guilty based on the evidence that this crooked cop gave because this cop is a racist. So according to you people, that's perfectly fine because you don't know what was in the cop's mind and he shouldn't have done that. And he may have been intimidating and blah, 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 blah. So now my scenario is this cop was a typical racist Texas South African cop. And of course, Stephen says, I don't care if he was racist. Yeah, you don't have to care. We do. And so that person should not be a police officer. You cannot be a police officer and be a racist. This is how black innocent people get shot. And I can remember one cop shot a black guy. And the guy asked him, why did you shoot me? He said, I don't know. That's a true story. It was at a gas station and it's on tape. And he told him, give me your let me see your license. Let me see your
Staci, can you stop this guy? He's just babbling on about nothing. He sounds like Joe Biden.
Why can't he shut up?
Oh my God. What are you even talking about? What is your favorite ice cream, Todd?
Staci doesn't mute him. She allows him to go on. So what I'm going to do, Stephen, I'm going to tell you in advance, I'm going to cut you off for the rest of the show. And Staci can't say or do anything about it, or she'll be a hypocrite. So now, the cop said, let me see your license. The boy reached in the car for his license and the cop shot him. And he said, why did you shoot me? And the cop said, I don't know. So these racist cops cannot stay on the force. He had no business bumping into them deliberately. And so he should be fired, not investigated. Get people like that off the police force.
So he bumped into people. He should lose his job and maybe his life because he bumped into somebody. He should lose everything. But he should lose everything because he bumped into somebody.
You just said his life. See how crazy Trump?
I don't understand what you're talking about. He bumped into somebody. Did he body slam him? Did he disable him? Did he break his neck? Did he shoot him in the
You can't
mouth?
work for the
Did he
state
shoot
of
him in the
Texas
mouth?
because
He
you're a
bumped him.
racist.
You know what? Don't step on my blue suede shoes, baby boy, and I won't get mad at you. What are you talking about? He bumped into him. That's not
You
just
can't
fire. You
do
don't
that.
fire nobody.
You
You say,
do.
hey,
You get rid
don't
of
do
them.
that. Chill out.
Hey,
Put him in a different.
don't do that to black people. Come on, guys.
It ain't got nothing to
Shut
do
up.
with black.
It
It's because
does.
you're so sensitive, because you're so weak. You have to just depend on the color of your skin. You're a weak
We
person.
believe people like
And
you.
this is
We
the only
believe
flip
people
flop.
like you.
Okay,
So,
we got to
This is my flip.
Stop. Todd, you have to sum it up. We have to move on.
oh, you allowed him to go on and interrupt me, which I'm glad about because that's what I'll be doing for the rest of the show. And then Stephen will say, you don't do Todd. You don't cut Todd off. This is how crazy Trump supporters are. They'll do it to you, but if you do it back to them, they start drinking their vodka and talking crazy. So you can't keep racist police officers on the force. He had no business doing what he did. So when you see something like that, get rid of them, period. People like that cannot have the ability to shoot you and get away with it. So they can't be cops. You have to have a certain type of temperament to be a president and or a police officer.
Did he shoot that brother, or did he put his elbow?
And so when you have that kind of temperament, you can't be a cop. So he should be fired. He should get a job in somebody's kitchen.
Thank you. Now we're going to move on. It just took you about a half hour, and the show.
That's because you did not stop him from interrupting me.
I didn't interrupt until the end. You ran your mouth for an hour.
Yeah, you ran your mouth for an hour.
How typical Trump supporters.
I'm not a Trump supporter anymore, man.
I know, flip flopper.
That's not a flip flop. I'm not a block of ice. I'm an ocean. I flow. You're a block of ice. You stay the same. It don't matter what the people in charge of you do. You love them no matter what they do.
I love Trump. I hate Trump. I love Trump. I hate Trump. I want to make
when he does the right thing, when he does the thing for us, we the people, when he does.
Easily one of the most versatile defensive backs to ever step on the NFL field, has died at the age of 66. We want to break down what we know from his family and then also look back at his really remarkable career. So let's go ahead and share with you what we know. His family confirmed this Friday night to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. As Seattle Seahawks legend and Pro Football Hall of Famer, Easley's career lasted just 7 seasons before health issues forced him to walk away after only 89 games. Nicknamed the Enforcer, Easley redefined what it meant to be a strong safety. In 1984, he finished the year with 10 interceptions, was named the NFL's Defensive Player of the Year. And by the time his career ended in 1987, he had 32 interceptions, 498 tackles, 8 sacks, and just a reputation as one of the hardest hitting defenders in league history. Before his professional career, he was also a 2-sport phenom at UCLA, just talent everywhere, where he actually got drafted by the Chicago Bulls the same year the Seahawks took him 4th overall. Easley was inducted into the Seahawks Ring of Honor in 2002, finally took his place in the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2017. And even after his playing days ended, Easley became a symbol of Seahawks toughness. Easley once explained the leather strap he kept on his face mask as a personal reminder, quote, when it was in the 4th quarter and you're dead tired, all I had to do was reach up, pull on that leather piece to remind myself I could go longer and harder and tougher than anyone else. I was strong as leather. Kenny Easley embodied that creed every time he stepped onto the field and will be remembered as such, tough as leather. Easley is survived by his wife, Gail, and their 3 children. And we're just kind of hearing an outpouring of support for the family here and hearing responses from, some primary.
Okay, thank you. Our thoughts and prayers to the Seattle Seahawks and Kenny Easley's family. Sounds like it was a very a tough loss, as well as a loss for a very, very very good defensive end. Cousin Todd, what is a defensive end? What position? What does a defensive
I'll tell
end
you.
do?
I understand the question. Let me help you.
So
I can help you with this. Excuse me, why are you talking?
Oh
Why
no,
are
I
you
was just saying something to myself. I was talking to myself, Todd, not you. Sorry. What is a defensive end? You're gonna say something about hockey.
Excuse me? How rude. What I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't either half the time.
Anyway, a defensive end is somebody who plays a third baseman.
That is. All right, Stacy. Let's move on. Hey, we got Ogunna. Ogunna's in the house.
What's up, good people?
Boo!
Todd, you just came from the gym, Todd?
This is not. This
is that a towel?
No, weirdo.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a towel. My bad.
It's a thing that Muslim women put around their head. He puts it on after the show.
Todd, you just got married. Congratulations. Todd, you got married today? Congratulations.
Yep. That's what it is. Yep.
Look at this weirdo. I'm talking about you, Steven.
I know you are. That's why I laughed.
Oh.
All right. Thank you.
Shooting of Jets cornerback. Police just releasing new surveillance video of the person they're looking for in connection to the case as Boyd fights for his life in the hospital this morning. News 12's Edric Robinson is at the scene in Midtown Manhattan with what we know so far. Good morning, Edric.
Yeah, Marcy, we just received surveillance video and images of the person that police believe shot 29-year-old cornerback Chris Boyd right in front of this restaurant here on West 38th Street. Say less. Let's get right to those images police released. You see the person wearing a black hat, briefly running in the street right after the shooting. Police are hoping that someone out there recognizes him. This happened outside the restaurant here just after 2 a.m. on Sunday. Investigators say Boyd was shot in the abdomen. Detectives spent hours out here marking shell casings and collecting evidence. Here's what people in the area had to say.
Very scary. It's getting more scary. Last time we were here, there was a shooter. Yeah. It's scary. Something has to be done.
I'm going to pray for him. I hope he makes it. But we need more police.
We're told Boyd is listed in critical condition this morning, but is stable. He just signed a year contract with the Jets, but hasn't played this season due to a season-ending shoulder injury. Police are asking anyone out there who recognizes the person seen in that image to call Crime Stoppers. In Midtown, Edric Robinson, News 12.
Okay.
I want to hear what Todd has to say about that black-on-black crime. Let's see what he says about that.
Our thoughts and prayers go out to the Jets and to his family. Ogunna or Steven, I'm asking someone who knows something about football. Do you want to talk about the position that Boyd plays and why he was out with that season ending injury? Ogunna or Steven?
Well, what time of night did this happen, Stacy?
I think it was early in the morning.
Why?
You mean like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning?
He doesn't know anything.
Did you say? Oh, I'm assuming it's about 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Here, there's stuff there.
Either give the answer or move on to Ogunna.
But the thing is that he's not playing ball right now. He's out. He's bored. He's doing whatever, and he's found himself in the wrong place at the wrong time. Anytime you're out. What do they say, West 33rd or 44, whatever. Whenever you're at a street, ma'am, cover your head. Whenever you're out at that time in the morning, you're going to expect to have something happen. So he was not in the right place at the right time. I'm not saying he did anything wrong. I'm saying smart people ain't on West 44th Street that time of night. That's all I'm saying.
Todd, look at Ogunna's outfit. It's not a T-shirt with eagles on there.
Oh, yeah, Ogunna's sharp, man.
And a white shirt.
Trying to get married.
I dressed up for Todd.
He's sharp. No.
I dressed up for Todd.
I see. That's a burgundy blazer, isn't it?
It's burgundy. Yeah, very good, Todd.
All right. Well, what do you think about this story? Get to it.
Yeah. So I'm looking at West 33rd. I mean, this is like right in Manhattan. This is not like in some like.
Don't tell him. He's too dumb to know what.
Oh no, I was asking. I didn't know where it was, but I know it was 33rd in Virginia. It's not a good place.
Manhattan
I didn't know where it was.
And North Philly.
All right, yeah, okay, but he still got shot by a gangster. Okay.
You heard of Miracle on 34th Street, right? With Macy's and all that. This is like
I didn't even know it was in New York. I didn't hear it was in New York.
I know.
I didn't even know where it was.
You
But
are
I'm saying,
He's a New York Jet.
what time of night was it?
It doesn't matter. New York doesn't
It does. When you're out at 2 o'clock in the morning, I don't care where you are. Things going to happen that can be bad.
Man, stop it. It's a city. We're in America, man. This is not Fallujah.
Gosh.
Okay? So here's the thing. I'm not judging what he was doing or why he was out. It's a horrible thing. It's a horrible thing for any type of crime to be committed against anybody in America.
That's right. No matter what time of day it is.
Judging him based on, you can't say he's in the right place at the right time.
I'm not
We
judging.
have laws for a reason. All right?
I'm not
At the end of the
judging.
day, I mean, I guess he was on injured reserve or whatever. I didn't know anything about the story. You know, I didn't know anything about it. The fact it was a crime of opportunity, I don't know what happened, but it's bad for anybody to get shot in those circumstances.
Right.
It was no confrontational. We just got.
Well, they were arguing. They were arguing prior to the incident.
Like a drug deal had gone bad at 2 o'clock in the morning. Could happen.
Do you see this ignorant racist?
We don't know. It could happen. It could have happened that way.
Can you mute him?
If they were arguing, they were arguing.
Thank you. Yay. Stacy just came to her senses. So,
but she doesn't shut you up.
This is the same kind of situation Stephen would say to a rape victim. What was she wearing? And
I would never say that, and you go to hell for putting that in my mouth, you heat.
What time of day was it, and what was she wearing? This is.
I would never say that about a woman that got raped. You are a heat.
Can you shut up? This is exactly what he's saying about this black guy.
No, I'm not.
What time of the day was it? It doesn't matter. So he deserved it. He nothing good happened at the midnight.
I didn't say he deserved it. I didn't say he deserved it. I said don't.
Sum it up, Todd.
After 2 o'clock in the morning.
So this is the same thing women are told when they're raped. What was she doing out at 2 o'clock in the morning with that little teeny short skirt on? Did she have?
I think you have a rape fantasy, Todd.
Did she have panties on? And who was she with? She should have been with a man. She can't be out by herself after midnight. What should she expect? So this is the kind of ignorance he's saying. And so anyway, this boy went. This was a young boy, and
self-defense, right, Keith? It's about self-defense.
Are dumb and ignorant, and they take things way too far. Now, I don't know what kind of an argument they got into, but this boy felt like he should shoot him. How dumb and ignorant is that?
Okay,
it wasn't a physical confrontation.
I got a comment.
It was just an argument.
Okay.
And then
my comment is simple.
And I know Todd's not should go to jail.
I know Todd's not going to like it, but nobody ever really addresses this, and it's not going to get a lot of news. But you know what? A black on black crime is so prevalent in our society.
No, it's more white on white crime.
So a black man shoots another black man, and there's not too much talk about it.
So what?
But I guess if a white cop would have shot him, it'd have been all over the country.
Absolutely.
That's all I have. That's
and
my
so
comment.
This is the bottom line, dum-dum. There's more whites here than black. So there's more white on white crime, dum-dum. Surprise. We're only 16%.
It happens within an ethnic group. If you're white, more than likely you're going to hurt another white person. If you're black, more than likely you're going to hurt another black person. So this whole trying to glorify black on black versus white on white.
Well, whites taught him to do that. Fox News taught him that.
I made my comment. I made my comment.
60% of the murders are done by 7% of the population. 60% of the murders in this country
home in Plano, Texas last night, but they didn't find anyone at home. State troopers then tried to stop a driver on the Dallas North Tollway, and when he didn't stop, they started chasing him. That car was later found crashed and abandoned not far from the Cowboys headquarters. Law enforcement searched the area and found Nealon's body. The NFL released a statement saying, "We are deeply saddened by the tragic news of the passing of Cowboys Marshawn Kneeland. Our thoughts and prayers are with his girlfriend, family, friends, and his teammates." And the Broncos posted on social media as well, saying, "Our hearts go out to the Kneeland family and the entire Dallas Cowboys organization." Marshawn Kneeland was a second-round pick in the 2024 NFL Draft out of Western Michigan. He had just scored his first NFL touchdown pass this last Monday night in the Cowboys game against the Cardinals. He was 24 years old.
Wow, what a waste. You know, just so many deaths and so many people losing their life, you know.
That's so sad. Our thoughts and prayers go out to the family and to the Dallas Cowboy organization. That had to be jarring, that had to be upsetting, that had to be, you know, it threw his teammates for a loop. That's a hard thing to deal with. Any other comments before we move on?
Yeah, you have to think of why did he do that? And he must have been awfully depressed. And I don't know if anybody knew that. You know, out from outside looking in, oh, he just made the team last year and he's playing and he just scored his first touchdown.
Making money.
All of a sudden, this happens.
I guess
It's
money
weird.
does not make you happy.
It's really weird that he would kill himself having so much success. I don't know how he could be depressed when he's living on top of the world. I just don't know how it happens.
Well, depression is something that isn't it's biochemical. It isn't
based on the money you have or you do not have.
It isn't environmental. It's biochemical.
Well,
I don't think it's biochemical at all. I don't think it's biochemical.
Understand whether you have money or you don't, or you're as poor as Keith. That doesn't matter when it comes to mental illness or depression.
It's just weird.
It's not weird. What's weird about that?
I must be the happiest poor man you know. Todd.
Right. It's just weird.
What is weird? Why do you keep
It's
using
weird
that
that he has everything going for him. He just scored a touchdown. His life is going good, and he's gonna do something to kill himself. Well, I think maybe wasn't he drunk? I'm sorry, guys. Wasn't he really drunk or on drugs or something when this happened?
I don't know.
You see how ignorant that is?
No, I'm just asking a question. It's not. Yes, I am ignorant, Todd. This is how you communicate. You ask questions. I'm ignorant. I don't know if he was drunk or something. Maybe something pushed him over the line, and then he ended up killing himself because he was so drunk and so disturbed by that time he shot himself. But I'm saying generally people that have their life going in a good direction. He just scored his first touchdown in the NFL. He's doing well. I don't buy that he's just a depressed person that killed himself. Right. That's what I'm saying. I don't buy that. And a lot of stuff that psychiatrists say is not real, bro.
Okay. Now,
Todd,
Janet Jackson was depressed. And
Janet Jackson said Michael Jackson.
Oh my gosh. So
she said Michael
Jackson was depressed, and she has plenty of money and notoriety and all of that, but she was desperately depressed. So it doesn't matter the money you have or don't have.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you.
These are idiots.
I didn't say anything about money. I said his life was going good. He just scored a touchdown. That ain't money in his pocket, bro. He's having a good life. He's in shape. He's in good health. A lot of times people kill themselves when shit's going bad, man. That's all I'm saying.
Trump refusing
you have
to
no
rule
idea
out
what you're
possible
talking
military
about.
operations in Venezuela or strikes on Mexico and Colombia to stop drug traffickers. As U.S. Marines conduct joint training exercises there, Matt Rivers is in Trinidad and Tobago off the coast of Venezuela with the latest for us. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning, Robin. And from this spot where we are, we're only about a couple dozen miles from the coast of Venezuela. And it's in this area that the U.S. military has chosen to conduct these joint military exercises amid one of the largest buildups of the U.S. military in this region in decades. Overnight, we've got some new satellite images to show you of the most advanced lethal aircraft carrier in the world, the USS Gerald R. Ford, moving into the Caribbean as tensions escalate. Some 15,000 troops now in the waters off Venezuela. And overnight, President Trump not ruling out using them on the ground, saying all options remain on the table. The president, though, also not ruling out talking with Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro as the game plan here for the U.S. remains very unclear. And as the president weighs striking Venezuela, also overnight not ruling out striking both Mexico and Colombia, saying each is responsible for flooding the United States with drugs. For his part, President Maduro saying he wants peace, but at the same time calling up some 200,000 members of his country's military and various militia there, clearly preparing for the possibility of conflict. George?
Yeah, the tension is rising. Okay, Matt.
That's serious.
I love it.
What do you love about it? What do you love about it, Keith? That we're going into Venezuela? That we're going to go to war with Venezuela? When your president, wait a minute, Keith, when your president said he doesn't want any more wars, he's going to stop all the wars. You're happy with him starting a war in Venezuela? Tell me why. I'll shut up. I'll shut up.
No,
tell me
keep
why.
talking.
Here's why.
Keep talking.
Here's why. A simple quote from George Washington. One of our
no,
first,
I don't want to hear from George Washington. I want to hear from you. I want you to tell me why you think.
I'm going to tell you.
You're going to tell me what George Washington said.
Oh,
I feel a divorce coming on.
Let me make my quote. I got free speech here. The George Washington said, if we desire to avoid insult, we must be able to repel it. If we desire peace, it must be made known that we are at all times ready for war. So he is showing that we are ready to kick butt if we have to. And that I agree
Why
with.
do we have to kick Venezuela's butt?
Against anybody, but we are ready. We are ready.
Why do we have to go into Venezuela? Why do we have to go kick their butt, Keith?
He knows what he's doing. He's not
Who knows? Donald Trump knows what he's doing?
Yes,
that's not an answer. Why do we have to go fight Venezuela? Why, Keith?
He knows what he's doing. He knows.
Who knows what he's doing? Jesus Christ or Donald Trump? Do you know the difference?
He knows what he's doing.
Who knows what he's doing? Who is who?
I said
Donald Trump.
Both Jesus Christ and Donald Trump, because he's
Donald Trump is not Jesus Christ, Keith. There's no reason to go into Venezuela, Keith. They have got you brainwashed, brother. You're on the establishment side of the Republican Party. You're on the.
Okay, thank you.
Don't you dare. Get out of this, Staci. Mind your own business.
I know, right? Hey, Keith, why is it so hard for you to say I don't agree with this? I mean,
I do agree because I do agree with it.
But he asked you why, and you just said he knows what he's doing. You didn't give a rationale case for it.
Because I don't have intel of everything that's going on.
Be a man, man up, Keith. What is your opinion?
What is your opinion, Keith?
I don't agree with that.
My
opinion I don't think Venezuela is a threat.
Fact, but I don't have all of the facts.
Venezuela
Neither
is
do
a
you.
threat.
Nobody has all the facts.
Keith, you are with the neocon Republican Party. You are the problem with the Republican Party.
Do you know what's going on?
I don't think that blowing up a fisherman's boat.
Oh, you do.
Is going to stop the drug traffic in America.
Tell the enemy
because it
tell
comes
the enemy
in
what
through,
we're doing.
It comes in through the ports. You could, Keith. You could talk over me all you want. The fact remains, you don't have an opinion. You can't articulate why you can't agree with something. Donald Trump is not perfect. You can say, I don't agree with this.
I didn't say it was perfect.
You know what? I don't, going to Venezuela, based on what you know right now, based on what you know right now, based on the facts, what you know, do you agree that Venezuela is a threat and worth sending a carrier battle group off the coast?
Yes, Venezuela is.
You didn't say that last year. How come all of a sudden Venezuela came out the blue is a threat?
Because Venezuela has been sending their people over here and these gang members and prisoners out of their
jail. That's
jail.
not what he's striking.
So that is a threat.
That's not what he's attacking. He's not attacking that.
That's a threat.
That's not a threat to us, Keith.
So the carrier battle group, you're sending a carrier battle group to stop Venezuela gang members from coming into the country. That's what you're saying?
No, I'm saying that he knows what he's doing because he has the intelligence that we don't have.
What is the threat?
And he's not going to tell you everything.
You said they were a threat.
He doesn't have to tell us everything. He doesn't have to tell you everything.
You're deflecting. You're gaslighting.
No, I'm not deflecting.
Right now,
I'm telling the truth.
what is the
He's
threat?
the president of the United States.
Oh my God, Keith! Keith!
I have to trust that he is doing what he knows what he's doing based on the intelligence that he's getting.
Hey, let Ogunna say this. Say it, Ogunna. Say it.
Clearly, Keith, you're not willing or brave enough to say, hey, you know what? I don't understand a lot of this going on and I don't agree with it. Fine. Just say that. Don't sit there and try to deflect and say that for some reason he knows what he's doing that's why there's 3 branches of government. That's why there's checks and balances for the executive branch so that we can challenge and have this debate. If you don't know the intel, you're actually admitting that it's not a good idea because when in World War II, we knew what we were fighting against. You're saying you're ignorant to what's going on in Venezuela because you just have full faith in the executive branch to make the decision. That's not good. In fact, you're going back to the monarchy and saying, hey, you know what? I think the king knows best. So I'm not even going to question anything that the king does because he knows all powerful. If you think $1 billion missile blowing up a fisherman boat is going to stop drugs from coming into the U.S. when they come in through, there's how many port of entries are there in the U.S.? There's a little fisherman's boat off the coast of Venezuela, and you're going to send $1 billion missile to blow that up. And for some reason, that's going to stop the cartel, who doesn't care. They got a certain amount of stuff they're going to, they don't care about that fisherman's boat. There's smuggling going on in the Caribbean all the time. They're not even coming to the U.S. They're going to Jamaica. They're smuggling all kind of stuff right there. But you're going to fire a missile from an Aegis warship to blow up a little fisherman's boat, and you don't even have the balls or the gall to say, hey, you know what? Maybe we should think about this. Maybe there's something we should reconsider given all the different things that are going on in this country. We're going to go to war with Venezuela. We weren't even thinking about Venezuela this time last year.
Okay,
what
thank
about
you.
the Ukraine?
Thank you.
What about Israel?
Thank you, Ogunna.
What about Afghanistan? We're going to Venezuela and we're saying, hey, you know what? We're going to strike all these different things in Venezuela because, according to your own words, Keith, they're sending a bunch of gang members across the border and everything. That's not a military issue. That's to close the border. He's building a wall.
Help me, wife.
Okay, excuse me.
Wife.
You gotta
Wife,
love
I need help.
YouTube. You gotta love YouTube. Said the MAGAs are fighting. LOL. And you gotta love YouTube says Keith's an example of the stupid people that Trump loves.
Uh-oh.
Keith, all you got to do is say, hey, you know what? I like a lot of stuff that he's doing, but this isn't one of them.
He won't. He likes everything that he does. He can't do no wrong. That's the same thing that the left does. Keith, what has Donald Trump done that you don't appreciate? I'll give you.
Let's watch this. Let's see what he did that I don't appreciate.
On Venezuela, sir, you've had a lot of meetings on Venezuela. I know you can't tell us what your next steps will be, but can you say, have you made up your mind on what you'd like to do for as far as action?
I sort of made up my mind.
You have.
But I can't tell you what it would be, but I sort of did.
What do you say to some of your supporters who might not be excited about another foreign campaign?
Well, we'll see what happens. I can't tell you what it is, but we made a lot of progress with Venezuela in terms of stopping drugs from pouring here. But we have a Mexico problem. We have a Colombia problem. Feeding Colombia, the country. We're doing very well. Drugs coming into our country are greatly slowed, as you can imagine.
The terrible lack, sir, is a significant change to other message.
All right.
Now, you should probably play that clip from the beginning, and just so they can hear what he said.
So I just deleted that clip. But what he said was, "You
So
be quiet, piggy." He was talking to a female reporter. He
That's
said,
what the Epstein
"Be quiet, piggy." She was asking him a question about Epstein files, and he said, "Be quiet, piggy," which I, respectfully really dislike the president saying that to a woman from the position of power that he is in. He's a man.
He just doesn't have to do it.
And the
Yeah,
position
but that's and in the spectrum of things going on, Staci, that's a very small thing, but I agree with you. It's a bad thing. It's just another bad thing. And Keith, you're okay with murder. You're okay with Donald Trump murdering people that we don't know what they're running. We don't know if they're running drugs. They don't have like fentanyl written on the side of their boats. You're okay with him blowing these ships up. I just want to make sure that you're okay with murder. So would you be okay if Donald Trump?
Well,
But
you
Donald
just
Trump
you
said
just
I
answered
could
your own
shoot
question.
somebody. I could shoot somebody in
You
Manhattan,
don't.
and I
You
would
answered
keep
your
my
own question.
supporters. Is that
You
you?
answered
He
your own
is
question,
murdering people. That's
Stephen. You
murder.
answered your own. You answered your own question. You don't
How?
know. You don't know all the details. You don't
Yeah,
have all the
Keith, I
information.
don't know if
No,
they're
you don't.
delivering
No, you don't.
fentanyl. I don't know that. I answered
No,
my own
no,
question, and you
no,
don't know
no,
either.
no.
But you're okay
That's
with
why.
him
That's why I
murdering
am.
people.
Of
You're
course
not a
I don't know.
Christian.
That's why I'm
You don't
saying. That's
believe
why
in
I'm taking
Jesus
neutral.
Christ. You
I
don't
take
believe in
neutral
Jesus
ground.
Christ. You're a fake. Like every pastor
I take
that
neutral ground.
you love is a fake. Who's that pastor with the reptilian eyes? What's that one to talk about the plane? He's a fake. What's that pastor you love of the big church? Huh? Do you know Ogunna?
Keith,
I love it.
Creflo Dollar. Hey, check this
I
out.
love it.
Check this
I
out.
love it. You got.
Yeah, I'm
You
with
got the
Marjorie
dirt on
Taylor
the dime.
Greene. I'm with Marjorie Taylor Greene. I bet you're with Donald Trump, Keith. I bet you're with Donald Trump.
Against
If
the most
Keith
powerful
thinks that
woman in
blowing
the
up
world,
5
even the
fishermen
president
boats
of
will
the
stop
United
traffic from
States,
coming into the
in
U.S.
order to make this vote happen today.
I love it.
I was called
They
a
all jump
traitor
on me.
by a man that I fought for 6 years for.
Yeah.
And I gave him my loyalty for free. I won my first election without his endorsement, beating 8 men in a primary. And I've never owed him anything, but I fought for him for the policies and for America first. And he called me a traitor for standing with these women and refusing to take my name off the discharge petition. Let me tell you what a traitor is. A traitor is an American that serves foreign countries themselves. A patriot is an American that serves the United States of America and Americans like the women standing behind me. And I want to tell you that this only became possible today because the American people, whom we serve as representatives here in Congress, demanded that this vote happen, and they put more pressure on every single elected politician in this city than has ever been put on them. And today you are going to see probably a unanimous vote in the House to release the Epstein files. But the real fight will happen after that. They are survivors and they are strong. And
okay, thank you. Ogunna.
Yeah, we gotta. So when Marjorie Taylor Greene is starting to sound rational, we've entered a different part of the American history. And look, politics aside, we're talking about pedophiles. We're talking about abusing women and things like that. You got to be able to think through this and say, hey, you know what? Right is right. I'm gonna stand on the side of right. There's a lot of things that can come out of this. I know there's like Clinton implications, all this other stuff is coming out. But whoever's in those files and whatever happens as a result of that should be, it's up to the American people to know and understand that. Look, let's just get to the right of things.
That's right.
And if you stand on the side of right, then a lot of this other stuff comes in perspective. Now, there are people on this show that will probably be like, you know what, it's Donald Trump. He can do no wrong. But part of being American is we disagree. We're not perfect. We understand we're human beings. We make mistakes. There are things that need to come to light or whatever. And it's like, hey, that's what happens. But to sit here and, Marjorie Taylor Greene, what she just said about calling people a traitor because they're not doing because think about it. If Trump calls Marjorie Taylor Greene a traitor after all she's done, everything she's done, we've already seen all this other stuff that he's doing against people that he hired and he's brought in. What do you think he's going to do to you who he doesn't know? So we got to be very careful here. And there's nothing wrong with holding our leadership accountable.
Okay, good. Let me
questioning and saying, hey, you know what? Yeah, I know you're doing some great things. Maybe the tariffs are working, maybe they're not. We can sit here and debate all those different things. But if you're sitting here trying to play politics with pedophilia, hey,
two things, Ogunna.
But we're not getting those $2,000 checks anytime soon. Anyway, that's another thing they use to just pull you in. We're gonna give a $2,000 check. They're not gonna do that. That ain't coming.
They're gonna tax that.
We're not even gonna get them.
Okay.
But once you usually have the $2,000 check and the tariffs are going up, and you got $3,000 eggs.
Yeah, you're right. I know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It didn't matter. We don't have to vote apparently because they all screwed up. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead, bro.
Okay, what I was trying to say, it's very difficult when Steven is trying to get married to Ogunna, but
your beard is immaculate, by the way.
Ogunna has made this argument before about what happens when it's you next that Trump is getting. It's funny when he's getting other people, but your turn is coming. And so what he just did to Steven said, now this is Steven now, flip-flopper. He said,
I'm not a flip-flopper. That's not true.
Shut up. What Steven said when I brought this up before, oh, those girls are 16 and 17 years old. They know what they're doing. They wanted to have sex with somebody rich to get money. It's not like they were 7 or 8 years old. They were 16, 17.
I didn't say that, Todd, and I resent you for saying that. I didn't say that.
What if I bring the clip in next week?
Bring the clip in
next week.
I mean, come on, really? I never said that. I wouldn't even say that.
Stop talking. If I bring the clip in, what are you going to say to it? Well, I didn't know any better.
Hey, why don't we wait till we see the clip, Todd, and then we'll see what I say.
Staci
how about that, Todd? Hey, Todd, how about that? Let's play hypotheticals.
Okay.
How about that, Todd?
Okay. Mute him so I can finish. So this is what Steven said. Those girls were 16 and 17 years old. It's not like they were 7, 8 years old.
I did not.
Real pedophilia.
That's kind of sick.
And
man.
so I'm going to get that
Steven.
clip. He said
I didn't say.
Just like he also said, I'll give you what he said this too. When I said Donald Trump's wife said he raped her, Steven said, raped her? You can't rape your wife. I said, Steven, you can. And so he says these things. He can't remember that he said these things because he drinks a lot. I don't know if it's water or vodka.
Okay, thank you. I got to move on.
I'll show you next in 2 weeks. I'll show you.
Okay, you can't drink the. I mean, you can't. I said you can't drink the whole show.
I'm gonna tell you what. I'm kind of worried about you, man.
Worry until I play the clip for you, and then what are you gonna say?
He's
Never
drinking
said.
water. Steven's drinking water. He's not drinking vodka.
I'm drinking. I'm drinking 10 pH.
And sort of say that we want the folks there to be released. We want the facility to be closed down. And of course, we want to be able to pray with our neighbors who have been kidnapped from our communities. And so a bunch of faith leaders and we went out into the street to make those demands known, and we were immediately met with violence, which unfortunately, as you were talking about, is an occurrence that's been happening rather often down at Broadview.
It looked from the video like you were pointed out by some law enforcement officer and then dragged out. How did they identify you, or like why do you think they came after you?
Oh, come on.
I'm loud and I'm tall and
and wearing a collar.
And wearing a collar and I'm happy to say exactly what I think. And when I'm talking to police officers, I always try to talk to police officers. I try to remind them they have a choice, that they're protecting what amounts to a concentration camp behind them, and they're allowing it to happen. But they have a choice on how they're going to operate with that. And I always talk to them and I always talk about that choice. I was also telling them that we're peaceably assembled and we absolutely intend you absolutely no harm. And so eventually there was a lull in the action, and one of the commanders pointed at me and said, he's going. And so indeed, I was going at that point, and there's really nothing you can do when that happens.
How do the officers respond when you try to minister to them in that way?
You know, I've seen and sometimes made some police officers cry before. When you talk about the children who are abducted, police officers are human beings. I don't agree with some of the tactics that are used at Broadview. I don't agree with them protecting ICE or protecting this facility, but they're human beings. They're capable of conversion and change, and that is really important to note. So yeah, there's been police officers who have cried when they're being preached to or when they're being talked to.
Okay, let's stop it there. Keith, I would like your feedback as to that man of the cloth being treated like that. spreading the gospel and God's word?
Yeah. Well, the first thing I'll say is that from the biblical perspective, if the man of God, so-called, or minister, is following the scripture, the Bible, which is what we are supposed to do, the Bible tells us to respect law enforcement. It tells us that we ought to submit to authorities and rulers. Now, we have to submit to those rulers when they are following the Constitution, because that's the highest law of the
It
land.
says
And
Constitution in
that's
the
the law
Bible,
of the
Keith.
land.
Hey, Keith, does it say
Let me
Constitution in the
finish,
Bible?
sir. Please don't interrupt. Let me
You
finish.
said
The
you're talking about the Bible and you talked about the
Bible
Constitution.
the Bible is the state. The Bible is, it all stems from the Bible. The Constitution stems from the Bible, and the Constitution says that it is the highest law of the land. The Bible tells us to submit to the laws of the land. So that means that we should submit to the Constitution of this land. This is the United States of America.
The
Now,
laws of the
that's
land
what
is
it's
not the
supposed
laws
to
of the
do. I
Constitution.
don't expect you guys all to understand that, because you
Well,
are not
no. Let me ask you
necessarily good
something. So,
Christians.
what was the
But
law
that
when
is
the Bible was written?
my
When the
understanding
Bible
of the
was
scripture.
written, when the Bible was written, Israel was ruled by Rome. Rome was the law of the land, and they
That's
actually
right.
put the Christians in the Colosseum, and they actually fed them to the lions because they
Yeah.
were defying the law of
Because
the
that was
land.
the law of the land. Yeah, right.
Now,
That was the law of
well,
the land. So you're saying that the Christians were wrong for following the law or not following the
no,
law? I mean, you can't. What are you
the
saying?
law of
That
the
because at the end of
land,
the day, the law
if
of
the
the
law,
land
let me
was
answer
Emperor of
that.
Rome was
Let me
God.
answer that. If the law of the land is contrary
Who
to the
determines
biblical
that?
truth, then yes.
Who determines that?
Who determines it? You ought to be able to see it. You ought to be able to
You're
see
not
it
answering the
yourself.
question
But reason.
exactly. So you're
You
saying
determine
that
the people. Look,
so it's
the
God's
people
law
of the
to
United
be
States are
adjudicated by
sovereign.
man. What are you
The
saying? So you're
people.
contradicting yourself.
No, I'm
The
not.
law of the land may not always be right because it's man's
Right.
law, right?
Okay.
So
So
now you're saying that the
how is
Constitution
immigration?
that was written almost 1,800 years
Aguna.
after the Bible was,
Aguna.
what are you talking about? You're
Aguna.
showing the
How
Constitution.
Aguna? Can you explain how immigration law is contradicting the Bible? Tell me that right now. The laws
What
of
is
immigration,
immigration law?
what they're doing.
What is
Immigration
immigration
law
law?
is when you're in the country illegally, you ought to be
So
deported or
let me
taken
ask you
out.
this. So God determines what the boundary. So man
The
made country
boundaries.
boundaries.
Yes,
Country
God
boundaries are made by
determines it.
Hey,
land.
Aguna, let
God
me ask him
determines it.
this. Hey, Keith, how come you're okay with 600,000
Look at
Chinese
this.
students coming to this country and hundreds of thousands
We
of
didn't get you yet.
people from India coming to this country to
We
take our
didn't get you
jobs?
yet.
Because Donald Trump said we don't have the talent to do these jobs, that we need to import these people.
You should
You
get that
agree
kid,
with that?
Stacy.
You agree with that, Keith? Oh my God, I pray for you in the name of Jesus. You want 600,000 more Chinese students here, and you want all these hundreds of thousands of Indians from India to come here and take our tech jobs because we don't have the talent here. We don't have the people. That's how fucking brainwashed you are, Keith. Oh my God, does everybody see this? Is it so horrible? This is so sad.
All right, thank
I'm
you.
not playing, guys. I'm not playing. I'm so sad. This
You enabled
Listen to this.
And you have to-
Listen.
people have
Steven,
to
you
learn.
enabled this.
You can't take people
Listen.
on unemployment, like an unemployment line and say, I'm going to put you into a factory where we're going to make missiles, or I'm going to put
How did
you
we
in-
ever do it before?
Well, let me
when you
just,
and I were
I'll give you
growing
an
up?
example. In Georgia, they raided because they wanted illegal immigrants out. They had people from South Korea that made
Hyundai.
batteries all their lives. You know, making batteries are very complicated. It's not
No, it's
easy,
not.
very dangerous, a lot of explosions, a lot of problems.
Man.
They had 500 or 600 people, early stages, to make batteries and to teach people how to do it. Well, they wanted them to get out of the country. You're going to need that, Laura. I mean, I know you and I disagree on this.
teach
You can't
anybody in
just
Georgia
say,
to do that.
a country's coming in, going to invest $10 billion to build a plant, and going to take people off an unemployment line who haven't worked in 5 years,
Right.
and they're going to start making missiles. It doesn't work that way.
Does
Yes,
that
it
mean the
can.
H-1B
We have the
visa thing
technology
will not
and
be a
the
big
institutions to
priority
change
for your administration? Because if you want to raise wages for American workers, you can't flood the country with tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands
I agree,
of foreign
but
workers.
you also do have to bring in talent. When
Well, we
a
have
country
plenty of talented people
no, you
here.
don't. No, you don't.
We don't have talented
Jesus
people.
No,
Christ, Keith.
you don't have certain talents,
Shut
and you have to.
up.
People have to learn. You can't take people off an unemployment line and
That's
say,
the whole point
I'm
of
put you into
tariffs
a
was to
factory where we're going
stop
to make
all that.
missiles, or I'm going to put
How did we ever do it before?
Well, let me
When you
just,
and I were
I'll give you
growing
an
up.
example. In Georgia, they
Okay.
raided because they
He's
wanted
taking
illegal
American
immigrants there.
jobs.
We've heard that before. Now, Keith, Steve, Ogunna, you talked about this before. Talk about that. How you were supporting that.
We're out of time. This is our roundtable.
Supporting what, tariffs?
Let's start with Keith, then Stephen, then Ogunna, and then Cousin Todd on these H-1B visas. Keith.
That's what you were supporting, Ogunna. But go ahead.
I think that
yeah.
I don't think that anybody on this show that wants to be dishonest and disagree with me, you can disagree with me if you want, but I don't think that our education system has proven that we are really at the top of our game.
Then
When
fix
we
it.
have illiteracy that is a high rate, and college.
We agree with you on that.
College idiots out there. So
We
having
can
said
fix
that, I don't think that we have. I think that he's right about one thing, because he is a businessman and he understands international.
No, he's looking
he
at cheap
understands that
labor.
business. Now, I don't understand why Ogunna doesn't quite agree with that, but you know, I think that
I
the
don't,
president's
not
right
at the level he's talking.
about
There's
the
certain
people who
intellectual
are.
things that
Let
you
me
need,
finish
but
my roundtable,
not
please.
missiles,
Let me
building
finish my
missiles. You can do
roundtable.
that.
You'll have plenty of chance. You'll have plenty of chance. So I would just say that
You
I don't
can't
think. I
question
think the
our fearless
president.
leader.
The president knows what he's talking about when he says we don't have the talent. We don't have the people
Then
that have the
fix it.
knowledge.
Oh,
So
I
we
don't
have
agree
to
with
we
that.
have to bring people
oh,
in, because
so
for many
insulting.
years, the Democrats have been dumbing down our education system. So maybe we have a shortage of high, talented people in that area.
In
We
what
haven't been
areas?
innovative.
You're talking in
You
general.
don't care about
We haven't been
Americans getting
innovative. So
jobs.
there
You
you
don't care
go.
about America having jobs. You want them to import people
I just
here to give
stated.
them our jobs.
I just
What the
stated
hell
what
is
I
wrong with
said.
you, Keith? What is wrong with you?
And these are assembly line workers. We're not talking about educators and innovators and things like that. We're talking about people to go in the factory and put the widgets together.
Oh no, these Indian guys are going to be high-tech jobs. These Indian guys are high-tech jobs, and they won't hire people that are here already. They're Americans that are here. Keith is for foreign people getting jobs because whatever Donald Trump says is good. Right, Keith? Yeah, let the foreign people take your job.
That's
You're
how you
brilliant,
used to
man. You're
be,
brilliant.
Steven.
You're too smart, dude. You're too smart. Huh?
Tariffs are supposed to be, so you can't be for tariffs and then try to import talent. That doesn't make sense. That's counterintuitive.
Nothing makes sense. Nothing what he's doing makes sense. I'll tell you what.
Hey, our fearless leader, let's put tariffs because China's not paying their fair share, yet we're going to bring in Chinese workers.
That doesn't make it. No, Chinese students, 600,000 Chinese students. Why do we want them here? Remember, there was a couple of students that were here that had a fungi that would have killed our crops. Why do we want Chinese people here? He's clapping. Keith is clapping for having these Chinese people here. They are spies. If it was Obama or if it was Biden, we wouldn't allow all these people. But he's still clapping because anything Trump says is good. And let me please say, can I please say,
you just pulled like $60 billion from
farmers to give to
Argentina. Right, and that's not America first, Keith. And Todd, I'm not a flip flopper. I'm what people do, their actions. I'm an action person. What they do, not what they say. Donald Trump, for a little while, did what we wanted, and we were cool with him. He did it enough to get in office, and then he turned his back on us and then stabbed me in the back. What turned me?
What did you think he was going to do?
I know. What turned? He is a snake. He's a snake. What turned me? What turned me, Todd? What turned me was what? What turned me was Charlie Kirk. It wasn't the Epstein files, like you said the other day, Todd, the other show. That's part of it. It's just another thing that adds up. But it was Charlie Kirk's murder. It was so fake. Everything our government said was still fake. So I thought Donald Trump was going to just clean the swamp out, but he is the swamp monster #1, because nothing about Charlie Kirk is true. Nothing about Charlie Kirk is true. He was killed by a state. I'm going to say a state that is our greatest ally. I don't want to say, because I'm not suicidal and I don't want to die, and everybody's worried about saying something. When you can't say something about a country, when they're the only people you can't talk about, then you know they're the ones who control everything. And that's what the problem.
Stephen, we've been telling you that for a while, but you were in that.
No, you ain't said it. You ain't said nothing about Israel. I ain't said you said a word about Israel.
Wait a minute, Stephen. I talked about Israel over and over, and you said you're a Hamas supporter. You hate the Jews. You love Hamas. This is
Right.
what you used to say.
But I was talking about Ogunna, because Ogunna was on my side. I wasn't talking to you. Yeah, and Todd, you're right. What Israel is doing is wrong. And all of us down here, all of us peons need to get together. Right. What they're doing is wrong. But you know what? Keith and I and Ogunna and Staci, we've all been brought up to believe that we are a Judeo-Christian country and we have to protect the Jews. Guess what? That was a lie perpetrated by the Jews. The Jews killed Jesus Christ. The Jews killed Charlie Kirk. The Jews will kill anybody that tells the truth. That's what the problem is.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, that is the opinion of Stephen only.
Yeah, because I could get killed.
That is not the opinion of Sporlitiks. That's Stephen's opinion only. Ogunna, we're out of time. Please go ahead. Make it fast.
Look, at the end of the day, America was founded on debate, compromise. So to say that one person is always right all the time is anti-American. We can have these debates. We can agree with some things that he's doing and say, hey, I don't agree with those things. We can agree with some of the things he's doing and then not like the execution of those things. We can say that, hey, you know what? Maybe we need to rethink Venezuela. Maybe, we are a country of laws. We need more immigration law reform. But then when you're starting to import a bunch of Chinese workers to take American jobs, which were supposed to be protected under tariffs, now that doesn't make sense. And then we can't just go blindly and say, oh, and everything, what he knows, nobody else knows, and he knows everything like that. If you can't see that in some points, President Trump is kind of shooting from the hip, just saying things just to kind of get through the interview and not really thinking through how is this going to be implemented. Yeah, you don't want to continue the ACA subsidies, but what's the alternative, right? We know that we need to have more people paying into the system in order for prices to go down. So how do we incentivize that? And challenging our politicians to do that before the end of January and actually do their jobs. That whole shutdown, even though I didn't necessarily agree with the Democrats shutting down the government and doing all this other stuff, they were highlighting the fact that, government is dysfunctional. So they work for us. They need to come in there, get together, and figure out how to make it happen.
Thank you.
They work for themselves, Ogunna. They work for themselves. They don't care about us. Michael Jackson said they don't care about us.
Okay, thank you. Cousin Todd, thank you.
Don't say the Democrats shut the government down, because that's not true, number one. Number two, Stephen, I can give you the date that you said that. Now in 2 weeks, we're going to play it on the show. Jesus. The fact that you talked about, because the date was when the women first had their press conference, and we talked about it on the show. And that's when you said, they're 16, 17. They had sex with a rich guy. Some of them knew what they were doing, and blah, 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 blah. And I said, Stephen, how could you say? You said, there's people 7, 8 years old getting raped. Now, they really got raped. Blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to bring that clip in, and you will see that? See what he's doing? You will see that you said that. And then what will you say? Will you put that same finger up to yourself in a mirror? Okay. So that's what you said. And you also talked about Donald Trump's wife, where you can't rape your wife. You also talked about I hate the Jews. Todd, you hate the Jews, and you love Hamas. You're a Hamas supporter. just because I said no, I don't think Benjamin Netanyahu should be bombing those people. They should kill all of them. And I gave you the example of going into a school. There's a shooter in a school. So we should not shoot up the whole school until everybody is dead, including that shooter. You can't do that. So
we could have an open discussion about it, Todd. We could have an open discussion.
And you called
no,
me
we didn't.
a Hamas
You
lover.
talk over me, I talk over you. Let's have an open discussion.
You can't talk nonstop, Todd. You made your point, but
we had an open discussion. So anyway, next,
I am not for the killing that's happening right now in Hamas. I'm not for it, Todd. I'm on your side. So kick me in my nuts all you want, or you can accept me, or you can accept me into your side. Kick me in my nuts all you want. If that turns you on, do that. It doesn't turn me on. It hurts me. So just be on my side. Why can't we be friends? Why can't you just act like a normal human being? And they say, Stephen, I'm glad you're here now. You say, welcome to the party, pal. Welcome to the party, pal. But no, you got to kick me in my nuts.
Wait, before we become friends, I don't want to be another Keith where
I love Keith. I love you.
And you give him a ring.
I love all of you.
Ring back.
Thank you. To our first responders in our communities, you make our lives livable. Thank you, thank you, thank you. To the women and men in the U.S. military for all that you do and sacrificing your lives so that we are free to say whatever we choose on this show, we are forever indebted. On behalf of guess who? Ogunna.
The late Ogunna.
Voice of reason.
I try to be the voice of reason.
Keith, the constitutional conservative.
The dumped Keith. Keith got dumped tonight.
Stephen.
Venezuela.
The independent thinker.
He's the dumper. He's the dumper and Keith's the dumpy.
And my cousin Todd.
I love everybody.
Oh, sure you do.
I do love everybody. I'm not like you, bro.
I'm Staci Johnson. Let's keep this conversation going on Instagram. Check us out on TikTok at Sporlitiks.com. Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Sporlitiks. Check us out on Twitch, X, Facebook. Stephanie Stallworth, the Flow Television Network. Did I forget anything else? Happy Thanksgiving. We are off next week. Next week is Thanksgiving week. We are off. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you in December. Have a very safe holiday time and be thankful for what we have here in the United States. Good night.
So we're going to bring that clip in and you will see what you said, Stephen.
Yeah.
And everything you said, you're saying now is the opposite.
Wait, let me show Ogunna this. Ogunna. So we played this before and you weren't here.
Heated at the South.
He just scored this touchdown.
Yeah.
He walked off, holding his leg, comes back and look.
He deliberately bumped into them.
Yeah, that was messed up. That was messed up.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't do that. And that shows a certain level of arrogance and ignorance when it comes to law enforcement and just disrespect. I mean, those are players. They're kids and they're players. You don't and see, he was off to the side. He deliberately, the police officer went up into the tunnel.
Exactly.
So it wasn't like he was, and they were trying to get out of his way. So that even within all of that context, again, that there's no call for that. I think,
and you can't minimize that.
He just, unfortunately, South Carolina lost that game. Stupidly they lost the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, that guy, I think they sent him home from the game, but he probably needs some other disciplinary action around that.
Right. Now, I had said to these people, he should be fired because this tells you who he is, and you can't trust him with a gun to protect and serve. No, you see who he is. You have to be.
Yeah, I mean that wasn't. I mean, come on, these are kids.
Exactly, and they're black children.
You're a law enforcement officer. You're there to protect
No, no.
What they need to do is do an investigation on him and see if he has this in his background. If this is something that is a pattern, then they should go after him on this. And I'm surprised if they hadn't already. They should.
don't
If
do
he's
that
a
to
pattern.
white
He should
cops.
be suspended. He should be suspended for a certain period of time. While
Well,
Right.
he's not.
Right.
He's not. He's not been suspended yet.
Well, that's yet. We don't know what's going to happen, but they
that's
should.
yet.
We know what's going to
that's
They
happen.
should look at his. They should look at his social media. They should look at
Okay.
what he talks
They're
about.
not. And this
That
is
is an
Texas.
embarrassment to Texas A&M.
Well, it doesn't matter. He's not getting
Todd,
fired.
it doesn't take a lot to look at somebody's social media. It's okay. It doesn't
Hey,
matter what side you're
This is
on.
Texas. They're not doing that. But
Yeah, you've never been to Texas. Texas is diverse.
I've been to Texas. I've been to.
You have
Houston,
not been to
I've
Texas.
been to Austin, Texas.
Yeah, you cannot go to Texas because you got a thing around your ankle.
Oh gosh.
You
Stacy
can't
and
go to
I
Texas
both
just like that, Todd. They won't let you
Stacy
into
and-
Texas just like
They
that.
won't let you in
Stacy
Texas.
and I both have been to Texas.
They'll let him into Austin, Texas, like that.
We went. My friend lived in Austin, Texas, in a mini mansion.
I told you.
But also, she's lived in Houston, Texas.
Not far away.
Yeah, so we've been to both several times. So
Right on.
I'm worldwide.
Yeah, you're nation bound, man.
So I want to know, Keith, how you feel about Steven attacking you on the show tonight.
I didn't attack him. I love Keith. I think Keith has a beautiful
Why do
soul.
you
He's
say
just
these
misguided
words,
right now.
Stacy?
You know, look, if I was look, I wouldn't be a real Christian if I was worried about Stephen or anybody else attacking me. I'm a self-defense expert. I know how to handle an attack. Just like Paul
you
the
need to stop
Apostle.
contradicting
You know, when
yourself.
Paul
Keith.
the Apostle Paul, there's a story real quickly. I'll do this quick.
The Apostle Paul
was
I don't follow the Apostle Paul. I follow the words
Apostle
of Jesus
Paul-
Christ. Apostle
Apostle
Paul didn't know
Paul-
Jesus Christ. Apostle Paul did.
Okay, the
He was a
Apostle
tax
Paul.
collector.
Apostle Paul
He
did
was a
not know
tax
Jesus
collector.
Christ.
The Apostle Paul was arrested, and many times he defended himself. And he said, and you know what he did? He
was a heathen.
appealed to Caesar because he was a Roman citizen. Now, here's a Christian man who was converted. You know, he was killing Christians at first, but then he was converted because Jesus is full of love, and he
How did he
wants
die?
to convert his enemies. So,
How did
he gets
the Apostle
arrested.
Paul
He gets
die?
arrested for preaching the gospel, and then all of a
Oh.
sudden he gets slapped, and he says, God will slap you because you violate the law. Okay, now I want to say that because hypocrites violate the law, or they think that they're okay with that the law is being violated. So I am not violating the law by taking the stance that I've taken, because the Bible teaches us.
Say that. So go walk through that again. You
I
said
am not-
that he was arrested for
Yes.
breaking the law.
Yes, he did
and
not
then
break.
He was slapped.
Yes, he was
And
slapped
he said,
in
"You can't slap
violation of the
me."
law. It was
said
in
what?
violation of the law. He was slapped because he was innocent. He was accused
Wait,
wrongfully.
wait.
Now hold
He-
on. He was
According to the
accused-
law, he was not innocent.
No, he was innocent. He did not
How-
do
why
what
was he
they had
innocent?
claimed that he did. So he was just
Yeah,
like Trump.
Pontius
You know,
What did he do?
34
What did he
Pontius
do?
Pilate
got
said he was innocent.
34, accused, 34 indictments, and he was innocent. Not one of them was proven.
Paul,
We know that to
technically,
this
if
day.
you're preaching the gospel in Rome,
So what
in
I'm saying
Rome,
is,
the emperor is God.
no. So what I'm saying is
What
that
are you
because
saying?
he was
broke the
innocent,
law. You said he was
appealed
innocent. He
to-
broke the law and Roman law.
no, he didn't break the Roman law. He appealed
So
to
what's
the
the
law.
Roman law?
The Roman law, he was accused of something that he did not do. That's what I'm telling you.
What was it?
Well, I can't go into detail. I have to get the
What are you
scripture out.
talking about? What did he do? You said so.
You
if
don't have time.
You said he was preaching the gospel, which
Yes.
in Roman law it was against the law because in
Yeah.
Roman law there's only
Yeah.
one God. That's the emperor. The emperor
Yes.
is a god, right?
Yes.
So if you're preaching the gospel that there's only one God, because there's multiple gods in Roman law. There were multiple. You could
Yes.
the Vespa virgins and all this other stuff. They had all these gods. So if he's
Yes.
preaching there's only one God, and that's
Pagan
the God
gods.
of Israel,
Uh-huh.
that's in violation of Roman law. And
Yeah,
therefore,
but preaching the gospel goes before all, because God is the
wait,
lawgiver.
wait, wait, whoa,
Not
whoa,
according
whoa,
to the
whoa,
Romans.
Ho, ho, ho.
Oh.
So So preaching the gospel. So if somebody who came to this country illegally is preaching the gospel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is he in violation of the U.S. law, or is he in violation? If he's saying, "Hey, there are no borders. The only God can have a border. There's
God
no borders
has given
in
us
heaven.
borders.
There's
God
no
has given
borders
us
in
borders.
heaven. Are there borders in heaven?
Yes. You're
How do you
ignorant,
know?
sir.
When was the last time
Be
you
careful,
went
sir.
there?
Wait a minute.
Be
Wait.
careful,
When was
sir.
the
Your
last time you
ignorance
was
is
there,
showing.
Keith?
Your ignorance is showing.
We're
The
looking
point
for.
is,
We're
There's a
looking
there was a
border
for.
between heaven
border.
and hell.
No,
There's a
no.
border
See,
between
your
heaven and hell.
ignorance of the Bible is showing. I don't want to. We don't have the kind of time
I'm
to
just
get into
asking
it.
you. You're trying to say
There
you're
is
trying to
borders in
cherry
heaven.
pick common law or man, the God of man, the law of man with God's law. You're trying to cherry
Yes.
pick that.
Yeah.
And as
I'm
a
not
as
cherry
a mortal
picking it.
human being, you
It's
can't
true.
do that. Only God can judge.
We're looking.
God tells us to submit to the laws of the land.
Okay, so
If
that
those
so Paul
laws,
did Paul do that when he was in the
if there's a
gospel?
law that tells you I cannot preach, then that law is null and void. It's
Wait,
invalid. Even the
wait,
founders believe
whoa.
that.
So there's certain laws that you can submit to, but there are other laws you can't submit to.
Well, that's a good point. Yes.
Can I
Okay,
tell
so who
you? Can I
determines
say?
those laws?
Can I
God?
interject? Can I
Yes.
interject?
That's true.
Paul contradicts Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ said in his own words things that Paul said was opposite of what he said.
Stephen,
We have
you're
to
speaking
believe
out
the
of
words of
ignorance.
Jesus Christ and not of Paul, because Paul was
Stephen.
Saul and Saul was a murderer. Jesus Christ was
Stephen.
not a murderer. Keith, I would take the words of Jesus Christ, who was a perfect person on earth, over Paul. You believe what Paul said. Paul did not know Jesus Christ. So what you know about the Bible is false. You know the King
Stephen.
James version. You know a different
God
version
bless
that's not real.
That's
You
what I
don't
said.
know what Jesus
Your
Christ
ignorance.
actually said,
Your
Keith.
ignorance of the Bible
And
Stephen, you're
is showing,
talking
that's
over
why
Stephen.
me.
your brain is warped. What you're doing is blasphemy to Jesus Christ.
Huh?
You're going against the teachings of Jesus
Look at
Christ,
that
Keith.
Sir,
wife.
I can't hear
His
you.
wife. His wife is having a fit because
I
Well, his
don't say
ignorance,
the
this lightly,
marriage is
Keith. I'm
over.
really
that's his
sorry. I'm
ignorance
really
of the
sorry,
Bible.
Keith. But I love you, and I know you're a good person, and you have good
And
intentions.
I'm
But
still
when
gonna
you
marry
believe
you.
what
I'm
Jesus
trying to
Christ
help him
says,
so that he doesn't get
and you
himself in
repeat what
trouble with the
Jesus Christ
Lord.
says, and not what Paul says, then
His
you will
wife.
be with Christ. The kingdom of Christ is within you, Keith. You don't have to go through Paul. You don't have to go through a priest.
Okay.
You don't have to go to anybody else.
All
The
right.
kingdom of Jesus Christ is in your soul right now, Keith. But you are letting them make you a slave. They are
Okay.
using
All
religion to
right.
make you a
Good night.
slave,
Happy
brother.
Okay.
And
You're
you're
Thanksgiving.
better
looking
than
for
that. You're better
turbo.
than that, man. I swear to God.
Turbo.
I
You're
got no
Todd,
reason to lie to you.
Hey, Todd, you
turbo.
forgot to do your thing. Who is this? Who am I? You forgot your who am I?
Well, yeah, I did want to do for my. Well, I can do one. You ready?
Surprise.
Look
Yes.
at this and at this one.
Surprise.
Okay, here I'll do one. Ready?
Okay, yeah.
I'm a never Trumper.
Surprise.
Trump is a godsend. Trump should be impeached.
When the president does good things, I support him. When he does
Trump
bad
is a
things,
dictator.
Wow.
when the president does
Trump,
bad things, I say
Trump
he
is
does
all
bad
right.
things.
All right,
So who
guys.
am I?
We couldn't hear what you said.
I
See you
kept
guys.
saying different things like.
We don't want to hear what he said. He's a heretic.
Good night. Happy Thanksgiving. He
God bless
is
you all.
We're looking for.
Steven.
God bless you.
We're looking for turbo.
Good night.
God bless you, everyone. Peace and love to everyone. I hope everybody gets to Jesus.